Welcome to LNN News. I'm Carolyn Day Pruitt. Here are this week's top stories. Putin mandates payment for gas and oil in rubles. The Virginia Labor Board removes pandemic-era restrictions. 7 Hopewell children are being treated in local hospitals after overdosing on sleeping pills. Recovery efforts continue in Colonial Heights as police search for a missing man in the Appomattox River. And Ettrick hosts an East Coast semi-pro flag football tournament. We have your national, local, and sports news when we return after this.
It's time to catch a culinary wave. Fresh food, good vibes, and great service. From their homemade pickles, spreads, and hearty fresh-made sandwiches to their full bar featuring unique tropical cocktails. Wave Sandwich Company delivers a tsunami of flavors that will wash over your taste buds.
Downtown Thunder is back, the largest bike and cruising event in the region. The hottest bands, the coolest cars, and of course, the baddest bikes around. The most exciting 5 months of the year, May through September. Don't miss out. This year's lineup features The Code, Buckshot, Crunch, Lost in the Shuffle, and 11 to 1. So catch a ride and join us for Thunder.
Welcome back to the LNN studio. This week in national news, we're taking a closer look at residual pandemic issues and recent events in Russia. Republican lawmakers have introduced legislation to aid COVID-19 vaccination victims. Senator Mike Lee of Utah introduced the Countermeasure Injury Compensation Amendment Act, co-sponsored by Senator Mike Braun of Indiana, Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, and Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith of Mississippi. One of the key components of the bill is the creation of a commission to examine the injuries directly caused as a result of COVID-19 countermeasures. The origin of this bill was in response to only 30 of the 7,547 CICP claims filed receiving compensation as of March 1, 2022. 93% of the total cases were COVID-19 related, and none of those received compensation. COVID-19 CICP claims showed a diversity in related side effects, including death, anaphylaxis, Bell's palsy, blood clots, chest pain, deep vein thrombosis, difficulty breathing, fainting, head injuries, GBS, heart attacks, myocarditis, paralysis, pericarditis, pulmonary embolism, stroke, and many others, according to the Health Resources and Services Administration. The Countermeasures Injury Compensation Plan was established in fiscal year 2010 to provide compensation for serious injuries that occur as the result of the administration or use of certain countermeasures, including compensation for unreimbursed medical expenses, lost employment income, and the survivor death benefit. The United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reduced its reported number of deaths caused by COVID-19 by 72,277, including nearly 25% of COVID-19 child deaths. The reduction in the reporting was posted on Wednesday, March 16th, stating that, quote, data on deaths were adjusted after resolving a coding logic error, end quote. In response to an inquiry by the World Socialist website, the CDC added that their algorithm was accidentally counting deaths that were not COVID-19 related. This response indicates that the CDC has changed what could be counted as a COVID-19 death. The move comes as the CDC is actively working to implement measures that would differentiate COVID-19 hospitalizations and deaths from COVID-19 as opposed to with COVID-19, in what is widely perceived to be an effort to reduce the number of official COVID-19 hospitalizations and deaths. In a CNN interview, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Rochelle Walensky was asked about vaccinated Americans that died from COVID. She said, quote, now, many hospitals are screening people for COVID when they come in, so not all of those 223 cases who had COVID actually died of COVID. They may have had mild disease but died, for example, of a heart attack, end quote. This announcement, along with the reduction in the CDC reported deaths, questioned the dependability of the data being used to establish restrictions, mandates, and treatment of the pandemic. WNBA player Brittany Griner continues to be detained in Russia after being accused of smuggling narcotics described as hash oil after landing in Moscow from New York. A statement from Russian Customs Service said that as Griner passed through the airport, a working dog from the canine department alerted to the potential presence of narcotics in her luggage. A Russian customs agent stated, quote, "The customs inspection of the hand luggage being carried by the U.S. citizen, Grinder, confirmed the presence of vapes with specifically smelling liquid, and an expert determined that the liquid was cannabis oil, or hash oil, which is a narcotic substance," end quote. Grinder was placed in pretrial detention while a criminal case was being conducted. If found guilty, she could face a potential punishment of 5 to 10 years in a Russian prison. A State Department spokesperson said the department is, quote, "aware of and closely engaged on this case," end quote. Grinder was in Russia playing in the EuroLeague. In early March, the WNBA confirmed that no other players were in Russia or Ukraine. Reuters reported that Russian President Vladimir Putin will demand, quote, "unfriendly countries to pay for Russian gas in rubles." The new demand was announced on Wednesday, March 23rd. The announcement caused European gas prices to soar on expectations that the move would create additional strain on the already pressured European energy crisis. Russia reported unfriendly countries as the United States, European Union member states, Britain, Japan, Canada, Norway, Singapore, South Korea, Switzerland, and Ukraine. The United States has already banned imports of Russian energy. Putin set a one-week deadline for the government and central bank to come up with a solution on moving operations into the Russian currency. We'll be back with your state and local news in a moment.
This is my second time going to Escape Old Town. I had a great time in the escape room. Lots of fun. Puzzles a little challenging, but I mean, it makes you really work for it. You know, you feel a lot more accomplished when it's done.
Colonial Plumbing, Heating, and Air offers service with a smile. They're a family-owned and operated service company located in Colonial Heights. Their hand-picked team is dedicated to delivering top-rated service with a satisfaction guarantee.
We're different from the status quo. Our people, our service, our products. They're revolutionary.
Welcome back to LNN. Now let's turn to this week's state and local headlines. The Virginia Department of Labor and Industry's Workers' Safety Board voted to remove COVID-19 workplace restrictions. The board, consisting of former Governor Ralph Northam appointees, evaluated the current COVID-19 infections in Virginia, mitigation strategies, and asserted that the COVID-19 virus no longer poses a grave danger to Virginians. Quote, "Businesses asked us for updated workplace guidance to reflect our current COVID-19 situation in Virginia. We are pleased with the board's move, and this vote signals that a return to normalcy in Virginia is not a partisan issue. We're going to continue providing greater certainty and decision-making power to businesses and workers in the Commonwealth as we move beyond the pandemic. With the removal of these regulations, it is undeniable that Virginia is open for business," said Governor Glenn Youngkin. Richmond has been granted permission to hold a second referendum by the Richmond City Circuit Court. The move gives new life to the proposed One Casino and Resort voted down in November of 2021. A push for a Petersburg casino, spearheaded by State Senator Joe Morrissey of Richmond, continues to be part of the high-stakes game being played in the state legislature. As the chips are stacking up against Petersburg, they may just pull out a wild card. A Virginia Senate committee last month rejected legislation to let Petersburg hold a casino referendum, but a provision in the Senate's proposed state budget would temporarily block Richmond from holding a second referendum, allowing time for a Petersburg casino study. The stakes are high, with the winner vying for over $30 million in annual tax revenue. Two players are sitting at the final table, but only one will be able to win the pot. Governor Glenn Youngkin has ordered the American and state flag to be flown at half-mast. Pursuant to President Biden's presidential proclamation to lower the United States flag, the governor ordered the American and state flags over the state capitol and all local, state, and federal buildings and grounds in the Commonwealth of Virginia lowered in respect and memory of former Secretary of State Madeleine Corbell Albright. We'll be back in a moment.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends at the Cloud Factory, who take a customized approach to their customers. They know not everyone is alike, and neither are their needs. So, the Cloud Factory focuses on what's best for you when it comes to CBD, plant-based products, vapor nicotine, glassware, and just about anything providing alternative routes to a healthier you.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Experience the thrill that hunt as your Petersburg Cavaliers make a run for the 2022 ECBL Championship. Rim Rock and Throwdown, Tenacious D, the booze, the show, the food. It's not just a game, it's an event. Check out PetersburgCavaliers.com for ticket info and game times. And catch the Cavs postgame show on LNN USA.com.
Welcome back to the studio. Around 5:30 p.m. on Wednesday, March 23rd, 7 children were rushed from a home on South 16th Avenue in Hopewell to John Randolph Medical Center, where they were treated for an overdose of sleeping pills. All of the children were under the age of 8. According to Virginia statewide incidents, John Randolph declared a mass casualty incident and called for assistance for 7 pediatric patients that needed immediate transfer to other hospitals. Both Chesterfield County and Prince George County responded in mutual aid to the incident. According to multiple media reports, the 4 youngest children, ranging in age from 1 to 4, were unresponsive when first responders arrived. Investigators reported that they believe that the oldest child, age 7, gave the other children the sleeping pills when the adult supervising them left the home to go to a nearby store. Upon returning, the adult called 911 for help. Hopewell Police and Child Protective Services are investigating the incident. Around 8 p.m. on Tuesday, March 22nd, Colonial Heights Police responded to Roslyn Landing Park for reports that a 33-year-old male had entered the Appomattox River and not resurfaced. Virginia State Police, Chesterfield's Water Rescue Team, and Colonial Heights Fire and EMS all assisted with the search and rescue effort using water rescue craft and drones. The first responders searched until around 11:30 p.m. and then paused the search until the following morning. But Wednesday's rain forced them to pause the search again. The man who was fishing at the park is from Hopewell. Roslyn Landing Park remains closed as recovery teams continue their efforts. Petersburg police have made an arrest in the investigation of a shooting death that occurred earlier this month. The Criminal Investigations Division of Petersburg PD have arrested Mike Stewart and charged him with first-degree murder, use of a firearm in commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. On March 4th, Petersburg police responded to the California Inn located on County Drive and found the victim, Stephen Harris, with gunshot wounds. Harris died as a result of that shooting. Stewart is being held without bond until he appears in court. The city of Petersburg is hosting a spring break camp April 4th through the 7th for 6 to 12-year-old residents of the city. The cost is $20 and includes lunch. Before and after care is also available for an additional $10. The camp will be held at Petersburg High School and will run 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day. Before care runs from 7:30 to 9 a.m. and after care 3 to 5 p.m. Registration opened on March 21st and is open to the first 100 children to register. For more information or to register, contact Petersburg Parks and Leisure Services at 804-324-4015 or by email at recreation@petersburg-va.org. LNN's Chai Gallahan recently visited the National Museum of the Marine Corps. We go to him on site in Quantico, Virginia.
And we are here with American Legion Post Commander 146 David Harless. Dave, what's happening today?
Well, we brought a bunch of our veterans and families up to the Marine Corps Museum in Quantico. Well, we're just trying to make people more aware of what's happened and why we support the veterans and how much they've given of themselves and an opportunity to appreciate their service.
A long line of Marines going way, way back. I think you feel that. You feel that kind of a heritage and you feel that kind of responsibility.
And we are here with Floyd Lee Moore, U.S. Navy retired Korean War veteran. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us. This isn't your first time to the Marine Museum, is it?
No, I've been up before.
What did you get from this museum? I mean, it's a pretty impressive looking structure here with a lot in it.
It is. There's a lot here. And We were fortunate that Bobby Doak was a World War II Marine who fought in the Pacific, and he was able to tell us about a lot of things that were up here. That day was the landing craft that they had here, because we got in there and Bobby says, this is just like it was when we hit the beach. We all got in there and he was telling us all about hitting the beaches in the Pacific.
We are here with Carol Leggett, and we just learned a little bit about the flag, the first and second flags that were flown at Iwo Jima. What struck you? What did you learn about this flag raising, Carol?
Well, one thing I did not know was actually 2 flags that had been raised at one time.
And what stands out the most to you about this experience?
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a little overwhelming, but it's amazing. It's a great place to learn about your history, about your flags, about the wars, and just in general, a lot of education here, a lot of things that I think a lot of general people don't know. I've never even thought of.
This is Mark Hayden, one of the volunteer docents at the USMC Museum. Now, Mark, what is exciting about the museum?
Well, you're going to see American history through the eyes of Marines, all the way from the Revolution up through the modern Marine Corps activities, which are now under construction as well. So you come and you can go through the museum real quickly, and then those areas of interest that really, want to get deep into, you come back and then you go through in detail and catch everything.
What's the takeaway you'd like to share with people? One final thought if you have one.
Well, we'd certainly welcome you to come here and learn about the Marine Corps and our contribution. It's your Marine Corps, and you get to see where your dollars have gone.
What's the significance of going on a trip like this to educate people about our American military history?
Well, that's exactly it. It's an opportunity to educate people and also to create a little enthusiasm and create an understanding and appreciation for what veterans have done and given for this country. Just want to get people out so they can appreciate not only what other veterans have done, but what they've done. Yeah, when you get opportunities like this, don't miss them, because everybody that went, I think, had a really great time, and to a person, everybody said, gee, I've got to go back and spend more time.
I said that myself. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
Okay, thank you.
We'll be back with sports after this.
BSV keeps it 100. 100% committed to you. You have questions, we have answers. Just give us a call. BSV. We're 100% for you, 100% of the time. Call or visit bsvnet.com today.
Bopper's Malt Shop, the niftiest place in Petersburg. Ice cream, candy, footlong hot dogs, burgers, and now introducing the Bopper Blast, a hand-dipped vanilla shake with a blast of candy. Available in over 15 flavors. Bopper's Malt Shop, Old Town Petersburg.
Yes, you can still get haircuts, colors, highlights, waxing services, everything that's going to make you look great right here at the Apothic Company.
The Petersburg Cavaliers 2022 Predator or Prey. We've got Chai Gallahan in the studio for a Cavs update. Welcome, Chai.
Thanks, Carolyn Day. The Petersburg Cavaliers continue their march towards a 2022 East Coast Basketball League title as they defeated 2 Carolina teams on March 19th and 20th. But that effort may just be showing a chink in their armor. The East Coast Basketball League is packed full of talent, making travel games that much tougher. The combination of the road and a short travel roster makes the conditioning, focus, and execution of the traveling players much more important. On March 12th, the Cavs faced the Chosen Lions in the Berg and defeated them soundly with a 132-92 thrashing. Fast forward just 1 week and the Cavs still claim a victory, but allow an opponent to top 100 points, winning 120-107. For just the second time in 6 games, an opponent had been able to cross the century mark on the Cavs. Now, the Cavs soundly defeated their division rival and the conference second-ranked team on the 19th, just a day prior, with a solid 105-95 victory. That highly competitive game, coupled with a follow-up game the next day, put the Cavs on weary yet victorious legs. but when the conference's only winless team drops a Benjamin on you, +7, it does show a chink in the armor of the conference's only perfect team at 6-0. The only undefeated teams remaining in the ECBL besides the Cavs are the Southern Conference and the defending champion Primetime Players and the Mid-Atlantic Conference Hub City Hogs, teams the Cavs will not face until the playoffs. And while the Cavs' offensive side of their sword has proven mightier than their opponents so far, the halfway point of their season shows that a double-edged sword must be sharp on both the offensive and defensive sides, week in and week out, to bring home the championship. For now, the Cavs own the first place in their conference and continue to be the Predators. As for the league, the defending champion Primetime Players, averaging 157 points per game, are expecting them and everyone else to be the prey.
Well, thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
The region was host to many elite flag football female athletes on March 19th and 20th. We go to Craig Richards on the fields of Ettrick for more.
The nation's most elite female flag football athletes battled it out at Ettrick Park on March 19th and 20th. 25 teams as far south as Fayetteville, North Carolina, and as far north as Baltimore, Maryland, converged on the Virginia fields to determine a Division I and Division II tournament champion. The two-day tournament crowned both division champions Sunday evening with the final round matchups. The Lady Elite took first place in 8-women Division I, and New Era took the title in 8-women Division II. Team Milo took the tournament championship in the 5-woman Open Division. The United Flag Football League, the UFFL, is a governing body of adult amateur flag football on the East Coast. For the sport, it is the top tier of competition. Aaron Askew, National Women's Director of the UFFL, spoke about the ultimate goal of the league.
The history of the tournament is really founded upon bringing together our northern and our southern teams, just so we can have a national field being the first tournament of the year for our tournament circuit, right? So the state of Virginia, this area in particular, is a perfect ground for that, and it just really gets the circuit going and starts it for the year for the ladies. So the UFFL is a governing body of adult amateur flag football. It's the highest level of flag football that's played. We have every style from 9-on-9, contact men's, all the way down to 4-on-4 and everything in between. The purpose of the UFFL is to establish the highest level of flag football known to our current society. That's what we are. It's the highest standard that you can play at. It's all about the champions and the legacy that you build. And it starts, in order for you to get it, it starts here and it ends here with UFFL.
Teams in the tournament this weekend vied for a tournament championship, but also accrued ranking points for the national championship held every January in Orlando, Florida. The event is the granddaddy of all semi-pro flag football leagues, serving as the Super Bowl of the sport, crowning a champion in multiple men's, women's, and co-ed divisions. Points from nationally sanctioned events like the Virginia Civil War Tournament held in March serve as a qualifier establishing the path to the UFFL championship. Kaya Coleman, quarterback for the DC Bad Girls, spoke on the play of her team and the draw of the Virginia tournament. All right, you just finished in a championship game about 2 hours ago.
Yes.
Tell me how you guys got in the tournament and where you're from. Tell me a little bit about your play today.
So we're from DC. We played another team that was from DC. We're in the DC Eli team, the league. And we got here, we played hard. We've been working for this. Coming off of nationals, we didn't do as well as we wanted to. So coming here, we're trying to redeem ourselves. So, I think we played pretty good all weekend. Got to the championship. We didn't get the job done, but we'll see them again at home.
The annual Ettrick tournament plays a key role each season for most of the teams that use the March competition as a preseason challenge of sorts to judge the strength of opposing teams they will face in the regular season, as well to evaluate their own level of readiness for the coming season. So is this tournament a warm-up basically for your league to kick off?
Yes. So this was a warm-up, see where we are, see our personnel and everything. So then by the time when we get to Eli in the spring, we'll be ready. And then that rolls us into the fall, and then Nationals is coming right up.
What attracts you down to Petersburg for this particular tournament?
This is a big tournament. It's the Civil War, and we get to see competition and teams that we'll see in Nationals. So we want to try to branch out from DC and play some of these Virginia and North Carolina teams.
Okay. Basically, preseason, early in the season, how'd you feel your team performed this weekend?
I think that we did really well. We did a great job. It's really exciting to see where we are.
A lot of times when you get fans that come out and see plays like the one that was just made here, they see the play itself, but they don't really see the time and effort that's put into it. It's a lot of X's and O's, and it's a lot of hard work that happens on the practice field, especially to play and perform at this level.
Reporting for Metric, this is Craig Richards for LNNUSA.com.
That's it for this week's newscast. Join us next Thursday for the latest local news. In the meantime, catch the latest episode of Good Day VA on LNNUSA.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for watching LNN, news by the people, for the people.